With the return of Rashad Bateman, it could make it more difficult for Devin Duvernay to get targets in this offense simply because of how many talented receivers there are. But I'm here to tell you that there's multiple ways that they use him. If you know from watching the games, they love to run jet sweeps with him, or I call them fast sweeps if the handoff is in front of the quarterback. In this case, they're running it from right to left, obviously behind Patrick Ricard, and they're leaving two Chargers players unblocked, Derwin James and also a defensive tackle, because the Chargers are in this hybrid 3-4 or 5-2 look. Ends up being an 8-yard gain off the left edge. You'll get the end zone angle here so you can see. They're going to leave James unblocked, and of course he's a spectacular player. But when you give a guy with Duvernay in his type of speed a full run, he's going to beat you to the sideline. Ricard gets out here, picks up a corner late. Nice little gain. It's a really smart use of our personnel, being as Duvernay is so fast. We're going to run behind the back and Ricard this time and leave Bosa unblocked. He doesn't know what to do, obviously. Ends up being a big gain. Look, stretching the defense horizontally is always a good idea, and not having to use Marquise Brown to do so is an even better idea. Like I said before, it could severely limit Duvernay's number of targets, and that's kind of unfortunate because he's shown a lot of potential as a receiver this year, I think. Did not have a touchdown catch last year, but here he is against the Lions. This little almost stacked trips look with him and Andrews, where he breaks it off on a post corner and Andrews runs the post. An unbelievable catch. One thing I noticed about Duvernay and watching some film the last couple of days is he catches the ball with his hands a lot. Very rarely does the ball get to his chest. Even when he's got press man, he's able to get separation. I covered this in another video. This is a 3rd and 7 against Patrick Surtain, the really highly rated corner for the Broncos. You can see how he gets Surtain to flip his hips, open his hips to the sideline, and then beat him with the slant. And Lamar's looking right at him. There was no read here. This was, I'm going to go at Duvernay versus Surtain. And I trust my guy to win the matchup. To me, that says a lot about the Ravens. Here, he's going to go in motion, so he's actually in the bunch this time. So they've switched him and Watkins, I believe. And he's coming in motion. Looks like he could run a wheel. So he's threatening this safety vertical. So the safety's going to veer off in a moment when I let it replay again. But he does not run a wheel. He runs what I call a wheel sit. So it makes it look like a wheel, and then puts his foot in the ground. He kind of rounds this a little bit and then gets into the sideline. But it's tough for him not to round it when he's as fast as he is. Gives Lamar all this space to deliver the football. A lot of separation there and a nice first down. He's helped the offense a lot, particularly with the absence of Bateman and this past week with Watkins. But, where he's obviously shining is as a punt returner. And one of the Ravens' favorite things to do is run what's called a wall punt return. Typically, you see it when they're not going after to block the punt. So in this case, we're only rushing 6, and Geno Stone peels out of there. We're running a wall to the right. You can see all these Ravens guys drifting to the sideline as Duvernay catches the ball. So what I mean is there's 4 guys between the bottom of the numbers and the sidelines. Conceptually, what we're trying to do is get Boykin to near the sideline and have all these blockers pin the Chargers guys to our left, at least our left as we're looking at it on the screen. So as Duvernay catches the ball, you'll see our guys are in nice position to pin the Chargers defenders in, so preventing them from getting to the sideline that Duvernay's going to. And Geno Stone is going to be one of the guys that is the lead blocker, quote unquote. Another thing that's indicative of a wall is Boykin is going to hang back and typically try to pick up the last man or the punter. That guy I just tracked is the guy who pushes Duvernay out of bounds. Looks like Stone kind of runs by him, but look, I don't know Stone's rules or what his assignment is, so we can't judge him, especially when this punt return unit is executing at a high level. I mean, look, one more block there and it's over. Here's another wall punt return against the Chargers. One of the reasons you use a wall is you have a really fast returner who might not necessarily make people miss in terms of weaving in and out and making cuts. That kind of fits Devin Duvernay. But anyway, as he catches the ball, you'll see that in the relationship that our potential blockers have to the Chargers, we're running the wall to the right on our screen, to the left for our punt return team. And Boykin is back here hanging out for the last guy or the punter. So there's 3 guys in the wall. Sometimes you run a 3-man wall, sometimes a 4-man. I'm not sure Oliver's late here. He lost his guy initially, and then he didn't drift far enough over to the Chargers sideline. If he does, it's a touchdown. You'll see here that we've got good relationship. Again, Duvernay's already he's almost to the wall. The saying is take the wall to the ball, so you kind of want to take it to the depth that the returner catches it. And you can see Oliver is out leveraged here with his guy. We'll track it back again so you can see he loses him initially off the block, and you can't blame him for that. I mean, it's tough to block people in open field when you're a receiver. And then, again, there's Boykin who's tracking back to be the last guy or pick up the punter. You can see he's maintaining relationship between the punter and the sideline. We got a great block here. Actually, I guess maybe 2 blocks on the same guy. I don't know who this is, to be honest with you. I thought it was Harrison, but it's not. Harrison's in between the hashes. So track this guy real quick and check out the block that he does. You know, he was the third man in the wall, and you can see that Oliver's lost his guy. If we get that guy blocked up, just like the last punt return, it's over. You know, Devin Duvernay is in a wide open space. So this punt return team is doing a great job. Like I said before, they got Boykin set up to take care of the last guy. This punt return team's doing a great job, and it's all built around Devin Duvernay and his speed. This last one I'm going to show you is from the Broncos game, and this is not a wall punt return. I'll pause it a couple times. I'm not going to show graphics on it. I'll pause it so you can see, you know, we're not trying to leverage defenders in. This is just Devin Duvernay's speed, catching the ball on the left sideline and then bringing it back over to the Ravens sideline, outrunning one guy, maybe two, and we just have the punter to deal with. Otherwise, again, this is a touchdown. So Devin Duvernay is dangerous, whether it's a wall punt return or it's just him using his speed. Here's the end zone angle of it. You'll see that nobody's hanging back for the punter. Nobody's hanging. You can see there's no one trying to leverage their guy. So this is clearly not a wall punt return. This is just man. Some people call it mirror. That's what we called it in our system. Just point being, Devin Duvernay's having an impact no matter where we put him. Running the fast sweeps or jet sweeps, as the announcers are going to call it. Throwing him the football against the Lions. You know, beating Patrick Surtain with a slant. Kind of a shame, personally, for him that he's not going to get more opportunities. I feel like the Ravens' offense is really blessed right now. There's so many guys who can make plays up and down the roster, running backs, receivers, tight ends. Hopefully Nick Boyle comes back soon. It's just kind of crazy to think about how much the momentum has flipped with this offense after the season-ending injuries to Dobbins and Edwards, Bateman getting injured as well, Brown, if you remember in camp, I believe missed multiple practices, and then Lamar missing the first 6 or 8 or 9 practices for the virus. Let me know what you think of the video, me breaking down punt returns. I know it's a little unusual. Most of the time you don't see people breaking down special teams, but it's fun for me to do because I have some familiarity with the wall punt return scheme.